Hey friends, today is another exciting episode for the IPO portfolio, and we are going to be talking about Uber. Now, when Uber first came public a few months ago, I wasn't very excited about it for a number of reasons. Short supply of the stock was driving prices higher. There was a huge amount of shares that were going to become available once the lockup period was finished. I was fairly certain the price of the stock was going to drop because of that. Then there was a lot of short sellers in it. The short squeezes popped the share price back up. Lots of things going on. I was very happy that I stayed away from this thing, but in recent months it's become a lot more interesting. The lockup period's passed. The share price has held up. Currently, they're spinning off their Uber Eats divisions and unprofitable businesses all over the globe. So they're just focusing in on the key businesses right now that are actually making the money, primarily the regular, I'm going to call it taxi service for lack of a better word. And also there's some Uber delivery, or Uber freight that does quite well for them as well. So going forward, I think Uber is going to be a much better investment than it was right out of the gate because of all the things I've just mentioned. The share price is much more stable. The company is getting more focused. Previously, they weren't able to really give a forecast for what profitability would be, but now they're really starting to focus in on making this company profitable. There's lots of markets and things that they could get into, but right now they seem to be way more focused than they have been previously in the past. Their competition essentially is Lyft. Now Lyft is a much more focused company. They do one thing, basically ride sharing, and they are quite a bit ahead in the autonomous driving as well, but Uber is starting to get into this really good focus point now. I'm quite excited about this company now. Before I wasn't. I was kind of wondering if they'd even be able to figure out a path to profitability, but now it looks like they've kind of got their heads wrapped around things. But anyways, these autonomous driving aspects of these ride-hailing companies is probably the piece that's keeping the valuation high. So overall, though, I think Uber is a much better branded and well-known company than Lyft. Everybody all over the world has heard of it. And also, with some of these other businesses that they are shedding, like say Uber Eats and whatnot, although they never made any money from doing that, that got their name out there even more. So if nothing else, it was probably a good marketing aspect of the company for them as well, even though it wasn't intentional. So long term, I think Uber is going to do quite well. Right now, I do think the valuation is a little stretched for what the company is, but I do think they have the potential to have longevity in the industry. Their main business of the ride sharing may not be their most profitable business in the long run. I do think autonomous and the freight side of the businesses will be much more profitable for Uber. Now, some other issues that they have are things like in California, the government has passed laws to basically say that the gig economy workers are essentially employees. So is an Uber employee or an Uber driver an employee of Uber? If that's the case, there's benefits and all these other things that may increase the cost significantly for the company, but overall a great business model. I think it just needs time to get, it's big already, but just that much bigger. All these millennials that I come across today, a lot of them don't own cars. A lot of them have no interest in driving. It's a significant change from the previous generation and the generation before that, where driving was, a prestigious thing to have a nice car. Buying a car, buying a vehicle was kind of like buying a house. It's just something you did. Whereas the millennials, the new generation, look at vehicles as an expense, as nothing but a means to get from point A to point B. So why own a $50,000 car when you can take a $5, $10 ride? Makes a lot of sense if you live in the bigger cities. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of Uber. Make sure to give the video a like, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. There'll be lots more videos on these IPOs that are coming out. A lot of these companies are very exciting. As you noticed probably in a few of the videos, some of the IPOs that I cover, I don't cover them immediately when they come out. I wait 6 months, possibly 6, 8, 9 months after they've come out, and that's really just to give the companies time to, you know, make their spike, make their fall, and kind of level out to see where things end up trading. I think one of the biggest mistakes a lot of investors make, especially when they're just starting out, is they know something's coming out, they're hyped about it, they buy it on the first day that it's out. There's a squeeze on the shares, especially if the supply of the stock is small, and it may get them into the stock at an inflated price, where if we wait 6, 9 months, the share price is leveled out, maybe higher, maybe lower than the initial offering, but I think you're much better off to buy it at that point when things have stabilized a bit, and things have leveled out. Share price is much more reliable. You know, you might not make a whole bunch of money overnight, but you certainly won't lose a whole bunch overnight if you kind of take that approach. Just one more comment too. If you are buying into some of these positions, especially an IPO position, buy in thirds. Don't go all in on your first trade. Regardless of the size of it, it's just a good practice of buying a third now, wait a bit, third a bit later, and wait a little bit longer and buy a third a bit after that, because you know, there's nothing that's more discouraging or makes you feel more foolish than taking your whole position or buying it all in one trade. The next day, next week, it drops right away. At least if you buy in stages, you've got that opportunity. If it does pull back a bit, you can cost average down somewhat. So anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and leave your comments about Uber below. Look forward to reading them. See you in the next video, guys.